All right, welcome. Today we're jumping into a natural remedy that's been making some serious waves online. We're going to break down a source that makes a pretty huge claim about a simple drink, just 2 ingredients, that's supposedly amazing for your liver. So this is it. This is the big promise that caught our attention. The idea that you can help out one of your body's most important organs in just a couple of days with stuff you probably have in your kitchen right now. It's a bold claim, for sure. So let's see exactly what the source is suggesting. And the secret weapon here? Raisin water. Yep, that's it. According to the source, this simple drink is the key to boosting your liver's health and helping it detox. It's presented as the super easy thing you can add to your routine that could have some pretty big payoffs. Okay, so the big question is how? How is a little raisin water supposed to do all of this? Well, the source actually gets into the nitty-gritty of how this cleanse is supposed to work. Let's take a look. This is really the heart of the matter, isn't it? What's so special about raisin water? The source suggests it all comes down to some specific properties of raisins, especially when you prepare them this way. So here's the core idea from the source. The raisin water is meant to kickstart certain biochemical processes in your liver. The thinking is that it helps your liver get better at its main job, kicking toxins out of your bloodstream. It's positioned as something that can give your system a little boost, especially when you're feeling kind of heavy or your digestion just feels off. And if we dig a little deeper, the source says it all comes down to antioxidants. See, raisins are just dried grapes, and they're full of these things called bioflavonoids. These are said to be fantastic at protecting your body from free radicals, those unstable things that can mess with your cells. And the source actually points out this is why raisins have been used for a long time to help with certain liver and heart issues. All right, so let's say you give this a try. What are you supposed to see happen? The source lays out a whole list of benefits, and they actually go way beyond just the liver. First up on the list, digestive health. The source claims this drink helps your stomach acids break down food more efficiently, helps you absorb nutrients better, and can even put a stop to things like constipation. And you know what comes with better digestion? More energy. The source even says you might start feeling a difference in just 2 days. But wait, there's more. The benefits don't just stop with your gut. The source broadens the claims to your overall internal wellness, especially your heart. It suggests that drinking raisin water can help manage bad cholesterol, lower something called triglycerides, and generally just help clean your blood. Okay, so if you're curious about how this is actually done, the source lays out a very specific 4-day plan. Let's walk through the exact method step by step. Before you even think about starting, the source says the quality of your ingredients is key. It recommends choosing raisins that have a nice, dark color. They shouldn't be rock hard, but not mushy either. And of course, make sure they're whole and clean. And just like we mentioned at the start, the recipe itself is super, super simple. All you're going to need is about 2 cups of water and around 150 grams of raisins. That's it. All right, here's how you actually make it. First, you wash the raisins really well. Then, you bring the water to a boil and toss the raisins in. You let that boil for about 20 minutes. After that, you just let them soak in that same water overnight. When you wake up, strain out the raisins and then gently warm up the water before you drink it. Now, how you drink it is apparently just as important. The source is very clear. You need to drink this first thing in the morning, right after you wake up, and on a totally empty stomach. It should be warm or even hot. And here's a critical detail. You have to wait about 30 to 35 minutes before you have breakfast. So, how long do you have to do this? Well, it's a pretty short commitment. The whole thing just lasts for 4 days in a row. The source also suggests doing this 4-day cycle at least once a month to keep things going. Okay, we're almost there, but there's one last piece of advice from the source on how to get the absolute most out of this, because it's not just about the raisin water. And this is a really important point. The source doesn't present this as some kind of magic bullet. To get the best results, it says you should pair the raisin water with a healthy, low-fat diet that's packed with fresh fruits and veggies. So the water is really meant to be an addition to an already healthy lifestyle. So there you have it. That's the breakdown from our source on this pretty fascinating natural remedy. And it leaves us with this final thought to chew on. Could something this simple really be a missing piece in your wellness routine? We've laid out all the claims in the method, and now the information is all yours. Thanks for joining me on this one.